Good morning, everybody. I am Muriel Bowser. I am the mayor of Washington, D.C., and I want to welcome you all to our annual briefing on the district's preparations along with our federal partners' preparations for January 4th events in the nation's capital. This is, of course, a special year in that it is our semi-quincentennial, and there are more, larger, and just more events that go along with this year's events. And while it is always hot on July 4th, we will spend some time talking about the weather conditions that we anticipate and how to be best prepared for those. I am joined by members of my team, my public safety team, including the city administrator for the district, Kevin Donahue, the deputy mayor for public safety and justice, Lindsay Appiah, the chief of police for Washington, D.C., the Metropolitan Police Chief Jeff Carroll, as well as the director of the district's Department of Homeland Security, Clint Osborne, the fire chief for the District of Columbia, Chief John Johnley, as well as the OUC, the 911 call center director, Director Heather McGaffin. We are joined by our partners, including at DC Metro, our transit agency, General Manager Randy Clark, and federal partners, Chief of the U.S. Park Police, Scott Brecht, the Assistant Director for the FBI, Director Cox, the General for the D.C. National Guard, General Leland Blanchard, and Special Agent Tara McLeese of the United States Secret Service. If I have missed anyone, I will be sure to get back to them before we close. We're going to talk a lot about what's happening downtown and on the Wall, but I would like to remind everybody watching that we are Washington, D.C., a city-county state of 700,000 people and incredible neighborhoods, and there will be wonderful local events happening as well. The 4th of July Capitol Hill Parade will proceed down Barracks Row, and the Palisades 4th of July parade will, of course, be happening in the Palisades. The Nationals will play this Saturday as well, I believe earlier than usual. And the Salute to America celebration, the Great American State Fair, will take place on the National Mall. World Cup competitions continue as well. And the National Park Service will conduct the national fireworks on the mall, and this year an additional location at Anacostia Park. I would like to remind everybody as well that our programming across DC continues. Kids continue to be in camp this week. Our Summer Youth Job Program starts today. Our free summer meals programs are open citywide as well, and our outdoor parks and pools will be open, and we will discuss their schedules for this upcoming week and weekend. With the addition of America 250 celebrations, Independence Day events on the mall have been designated as a national special security event. And Special Agent McLeese will talk more about that. For the public, that mostly means to expect extra security measures, and we are encouraging people to text DC 250 to 888-777 to get real-time updates about what is happening. So if you have driven through the downtown this week, you notice and that you should continue to plan ahead for road closures. If you are headed to the mall, and we encourage everybody to take advantage of the national fireworks, and make sure you review the lengthy list of prohibited items. We have also posted that list at 250.dc.gov. And because there are so much going on, we want to ask you just to plan ahead about where you plan to spectate and watch the fireworks. And what I mean is don't just pull over on the side of the road. So plan on where you're going to be. And it will be also planned for this, as we are the fireworks organizers have informed us that they are going to be later than normal and they will last longer. Normally the fireworks begin at nightfall around 9 o'clock. This year we expect that they won't begin until 11 p.m. And that they may last up to 45 minutes. Oh, you don't quote me, but they're going to be longer than in previous years, we are told. And so throughout the weekend, we strongly encourage everyone to use public transportation, use Metro wherever possible, to make sure that you can have a quick and seamless ride. We continue to have a strong safety response throughout district neighborhoods. We know, and we will talk a little bit about what acceptable legal fireworks are. And we will have our GO teams out as we have done in previous years. These are members of our public safety team, our safe passage teams, our violence interruptions teams. They're volunteers, ANC commissioners, neighbors, who are going to be in neighborhoods to answer questions and to provide an opportunity for neighbors to talk directly to the government. And so I want to thank all of our teams who have been working really tirelessly for many, many months to support the semi-quincentennial activities, to support our traditional local neighborhood activities around July 4th. And we are counting on all of our residents, visitors, and friends to plan ahead, to follow directions, to stay safe, to drink responsibly, stay hydrated, and to be safe throughout these days. And so with that, I want to turn to Chief Carroll, who will be followed by Special Agent McLeese.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is an important week for our city with a number of exciting events happening, including the largest display of fireworks our city has ever seen. The Metropolitan Police Department will be working hard to ensure that every celebration, parade, and sporting event and gathering is safe for residents and visitors. Through the 4th of July holiday period, the Metropolitan Police Department will be fully activated. You'll see our officers across the district, in neighborhoods, downtown, and throughout all major activity areas. The Metropolitan Police Department is well prepared, and we remain committed to providing the level of service that our community expects every single day. We've been working closely with our state and local partners to support the highest level of safety and security for all planned events. This coordination is critical, and together we're taking every necessary step to ensure that the celebrations are both enjoyable and safe for everyone. As with any large-scale event, parking restrictions and road closures are necessary to provide the safest and most secure environment for residents and visitors. Large-scale closures will begin on July 3rd and will remain in place until the fencing perimeter is broken down on July 5th. Additional closures will be put in place around the Barracks Row and Palisades parade routes early on July 4th. Those closures will end shortly after the parades conclude. For our boating community, MPD's Harbor Patrol will assist the United States Coast Guard with waterway restrictions on the Potomac River between the Key Bridge and a point just south of the 14th Street Bridge, beginning at 8 a.m. on Thursday and lasting through 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. The Anacostia River will be closed between the 11th Street Bridge and a point south of the Frederick Douglass Bridge on the evening of July 4th. A full list of closures and traffic impacts, as well as the maritime restrictions, are available on 250.dc.gov, and we strongly encourage everyone to plan ahead before traveling in and around the city. I also want to emphasize the importance of using public transportation if you're heading to the National Mall. It'll save you time, and it's the safest route as well as the most efficient. There are many events and people traveling throughout the city in the coming days. We encourage everyone to have patience, whether we're traveling by bus, car, or bike. We want all of our residents and visitors to enjoy a fun and safe 4th of July holiday period. And with that, I also want to remind everyone that illegal fireworks are very dangerous. Officers will respond to calls for service involving illegal fireworks activity, and we ask our community to keep neighborhoods safe by reporting any of these incidents. We also want everyone who calls DC home, as well as those who are visiting us this week, to enjoy a fun and safe holiday. Your cooperation and awareness help make that possible. So if you see something, say something. If you attend an event or notice anything suspicious, please immediately contact us. For emergencies, call 911. For non-emergencies, you can text MPD at 50411 or call us at 202-727-9099. Together, we can help ensure that every celebration across our city remains safe. And now, I'll turn it over to the United States Secret Service Special Agent in Charge, Tara McLeese.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. I'm Tara McLeese, the Special Agent in Charge of the United States Secret Service Washington Field Office. I'm joined today by Richard McCauley, the Chief of the Secret Service Police, and David Yaman, the Special Agent in Charge of our Dignitary Protective Division. Since being designated a national special security event, the United States Secret Service has led months of security planning for the Salute to America and Grand Fireworks Show celebration. This is the 8th National Special Security event in Washington in the last 2 years. There is no area in the country where law enforcement is better prepared and works closer together. Every agency represented here today, and many who aren't, play a pivotal role in a complex security plan. This plan will ensure the safety of our protectees and the tens of thousands of Americans who will be there to enjoy a momentous day in our history. Street closures and access points will be much different than previous 4th of July celebrations. There will be extensive road and pedestrian closures around the National Mall. Closures of the Potomac and Anacostia rivers will be in place to ensure everyone's safety. These closures are necessary due to the scale of this year's fireworks show. Everyone coming to the viewing area on Washington Monument grounds will be subject to TSA-style magnetometer screening. We ask those planning to attend to enter the main screening area from east of the monument at Constitution Avenue and 14th Street Northwest and Independence Avenue and 14th Street Southwest. The screening area opens Saturday at 1 p.m. Attendees should review our prohibited items list. Only one clear bag, no larger than a gallon-sized Ziploc, or a small clutch purse will be allowed in the restricted area per person. There will be no storage for prohibited items near the screening area. While we are confident in our planning, we recognize that we are in a heightened threat environment. The Secret Service's protective intelligence apparatus remains in constant coordination with our partners, and we remain focused on advanced identification and interdiction of threats to this event. We learned of a plot targeting UFC Freedom 250 shortly after speaking to you in this room 3 weeks ago. Our teams worked around the clock with our partners at the FBI and agencies at the state and local levels across the country to identify those suspects and neutralize their ability to disrupt that event. This weekend, hundreds of federal agents and officers, including Secret Service specialized tactical units, counter-drone teams, National Guard members, and a variety of additional unseen resources will be used to disrupt any bad actor. On behalf of the men and women of the United States Secret Service, I want to extend our sincere thanks to this exceptionally talented public safety team. Together, we will ensure the successful execution of our security plan and celebrate the 250th birthday of our nation with our fellow Americans. I'll now turn it over to my friend and partner, Darren Cox, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI Washington Field Office.
Thank you, Thank you, SAC McLeese. Good morning. I'm Darren Cox. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Washington Field Office. As we prepare to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday on July 4th, the FBI and our federal and local partners have been preparing for months to ensure the Salute to America and the Grand Fireworks Show are safe for all who attend. The partnership you see represented here today are some of the partners that we rely on every single day. Through the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, we plan, we train, and we coordinate consistently so that large-scale events like this we are ready for. For all national special security events like this one, the FBI's primary responsibilities include crisis response, assessing and disrupting potential terrorism threats, and leading the intelligence effort to support our law enforcement partners. In the lead up to July 4th and throughout the celebration, FBI intelligence analysts are reviewing and sharing information in real time. We evaluate every tip, every piece of intelligence, and work closely with our partners to respond and investigate all or any of these issues quickly and safely. At this time, we are not tracking any credible threats related to the July 4th event, but we always remain vigilant. We also ask the public to stay aware of their surroundings. If something doesn't look right, a suspicious bag, concerning behavior, or a drone, report it to law enforcement right away. Your eyes and instincts are important to keeping this event safe. I know drones have been mentioned, but I want to reiterate that all of Washington, D.C. is a no drone zone. Flying a drone anywhere in the district or near any of the events or any of the Freedom 250 celebration is illegal and dangerous. Doing so can result in your drone being seized, you being arrested, and civil fines up to $100,000. The safest choice is very simple. Leave your drone at home. If you see a drone operating where it should not be, report it immediately. Call 911, report it to an on-site law enforcement officer, or you can call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Our goal is very simple: for every resident and visitor to enjoy the celebration of America's 250th birthday, knowing that thousands of professionals have spent months preparing to keep them safe. Thank you, and now I'll turn it over to the Chief, Scott Brecht from U.S. Park Police.
Good morning. The U.S. Park Police is supporting the U.S. Secret Service and our other law enforcement partners throughout the 4th of July celebrations. Visitors will see increased security from years past. In addition to security screening, there will be more pedestrian limitations. For example, pedestrians will not be permitted to cross the Memorial Bridge to ensure safety from the fireworks fallout zone. Attendees who have already been screened and are attending the Great American State Fair are encouraged to remain there to watch the fireworks rather than attempting to enter into the primary zone on Washington Monument grounds. Leaving the fair access to view at another zone will require another security screening. But the main viewing area is expected to reach capacity, and re-entry may not be possible. For those looking for alternate viewing sites, George Washington Memorial Parkway offers an excellent vantage point. Remember, there's no parking along the roadway, though, along the parkway. The public is encouraged to take Metro and walk to these viewing areas. I would also like to take a quick mention of the fireworks display in Anacostia Park. The event is being offered by the National Park Service as a special add-on to the Freedom 250 celebration. There will be access control points and safety screening there as well. Some road closures were already announced and put in place, but by tomorrow the rest will be listed. These road closures will further affect pedestrian, bike, and vehicle on July 4th. Additional event information, such as prohibited items, is on the National Park Service website. We especially want to give residents in that area a heads up about the event, as these fireworks are large and the park is near these residential areas. And last, I'd like everybody to make sure that they come with a plan, come into DC with a plan. Know how you're going to get to the sites, know how you're going to get to where you're going to. Stay hydrated. Take pictures of your children ahead of time just in case they become separated from you. It helps us in law enforcement to find them easier. I'd now like to introduce the DC HCMA Director, Clint Osborne.
Good morning. I'm Clint Osborne, Director of the District of Columbia Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency, or HCMA. This year, July 4th looks a little different in the district. You've heard a lot. As the nation comes together to celebrate America's 250th birthday, I'm not even going to try to say the semi-quina, but under Mayor Bowser's leadership, the district has spent months planning for this weekend alongside federal and regional partners, including those here today and key community organizations, our business improvement districts, and our neighborhood leaders. These partnerships are what makes the district safe, not just during these major events, but every single day. If you're going downtown for the fireworks, plan ahead. Be ready for an increased security presence, crowds, and road closures. I would say that if you're going downtown and you've done this before, don't assume you know what it's going to look like. Check our website. Make sure you're extra prepared. Make sure you don't bring items down that you can't take into any of the secured zones where you might go to watch the fireworks. You can visit 250.dc.gov for the full road closure list, bag size restrictions, and more. Just as importantly, we are tracking a multi-day heat wave expected from the 1st to the 4th of July. This has the potential to have triple-digit temperatures, which may break records this week. So it is imperative that you plan for yourself, your family, your loved ones as you go about your week, whether you're going downtown or you're going to be anywhere in the district this weekend enjoying the festivities. Drink lots of water, even if you don't feel thirsty. Take breaks in the shade or in the air conditioning, and check on your neighbors, loved ones, and pets. If you or someone you know starts to feel dizzy, nauseous, or stops sweating, becomes lethargic or unresponsive, these are signs of heat illness and injury. Please get them somewhere cool and quickly, and if they become unresponsive, call 911. The district will be monitoring conditions throughout the weekend and will push updates about traffic, weather, and more. Lastly, as a reminder, fireworks are dangerous and many are illegal in the district. Stay informed of everything that's happening in the district with free alerts, and please go watch professional fireworks and keep yourself, your family, and your friends safe. You can sign up at AlertDC at alert.dc.gov if you live and work here. If you're visiting and you only want updates about summer celebrations, text DC250 to 888-777. Both are free, and both will help you navigate this city safely. And as the mayor likes to say, pack your patience. Happy 250th, happy 4th, and with that, I'll pass it to friend and fellow transit lover, Randy Clark, General Manager of WMATA.
I guess are we both the transit lovers? Right, okay, because I know the mayor is too. So hi everyone, Randy Clark, WMATA General Manager. Thanks, Mayor, for obviously having us and all of the partners for our ongoing preparedness work and mentioning that Metro is definitely the safe, most reliable way to enjoy not just the National Mall celebration, but quite frankly, all the celebrations this week. We take a lot of pride. Last week was the Pride Parade, UFC match at the White House, and obviously the upcoming IndyCar race. So Metro has been prepared for this weekend, for the whole summer. As soon as you're good, Paul. Yeah, the AI is listening to us all. Yeah.
It's the same message you're giving today.
Touche. Yeah. Thanks. We've done this before. So as I mentioned, Metro is definitely the safest, easiest way to get around, and we appreciate everyone that wants to use the service. We are very well staffed. All of our officers will be aboard. Interim Chief Bohm and his whole team is fully activated. We've done a lot of preparedness drills around that. Metro is designed for large crowds. We know what we're doing. It's something we take a lot of pride in. On July 4th is our Super Bowl every year, so we will be prepared. It will be different this year. Chances of Smithsonian being the biggest station are not likely. It's going to be spread. That spread is going to be both helpful and a change, so we really reiterate what everyone said. Bring your patience, plan and prepare ahead. We think stations like Arlington National Cemetery is a good example. Will probably be much busier than normal because of the viewing area. Foggy Bottom, Federal Triangle. At the same time, Smithsonian will be busy, LaFont Plaza busy, so please think about that. Download Metro Pulse. It is a great app to do real-time trip planning. Also, you can do customer service chat to get real-time information from our staff. A couple things to highlight. Fireworks are clearly going to be later, and I'll defer to others on the exact timing of that. But Metro, right now, we are open till 2 a.m. because it is a Saturday. We will make sure people safely get home. That's what we do. You can count on Metro to get in, and we'll definitely get you home. If it's before 5 p.m., I encourage people to use what we call tap, ride, and go. You can pay with your credit and debit card. Just tap a card, tap your watch, tap your phone. get through the turnstiles very quickly. After 5 p.m., the board has announced we are going fare-free after 5 p.m. to really make sure people can not only enjoy the festivities all over the region as a community, but also make sure from a safety point of view we can get people going through. We'll be adding a lot of extra service as we do always on the 4th. Most of our system in the downtown core will have a train every 3 to 4 minutes. Our goal here is to have a lot of extra trains prepared, and we will move those, what we call gap trains, to make sure that we can move crowds expeditiously, especially after the event. We will have a lot of bus detours. There have already been a lot this summer. They're going to be here all summer. So we really ask people to go wamod.com/bus detours. They are pretty significant in our downtown core. And if you are on a bus that doesn't touch the downtown core, or your trip doesn't,
regularly inspected by our fire marshals. Thank you.
Okay, any questions? Yes, Muriel.
Two quick questions. One, I know that somebody mentioned that you guys expect capacity to be reached at the mall for the fireworks. What is that number? And then can you guys talk about plans at all as far as emergency exits and how people might get out of some of that fencing if something were to happen?
I'll turn to the Secret Service. Or would you?
Special Agent in Charge Yaman is really the expert when it comes to our ingress and egress points. So Dave, if you want to take that question.
Sure.
Thank you.
I would just say ingress and egress points. Obviously, the magnetometer is open at 1 o'clock. Feel free to come early to queue in lines. Probably the best start to the queue is at 12th Street on both Independence and Constitution. For breakout areas, essentially if at the end of the night or God forbid with a weather emergency or anything else, there are agents and officers posted at all the gates to open them up to allow for free and easy escape or egress from that site if necessary.
Do you have the capacity number?
Capacity is about 150,000.
Other questions? Yes. Yep.
Chief, it's going to be very, very hot on Saturday, a high of 99 degrees. And there's a lot of restrictions on coolers, chairs, and containers that people can bring in. They normally hydrate themselves. How are you going to handle all of that possible EMS calls you're going to get for possible heat stroke or heat events? And how are you going to handle that EMS within that restricted zone?
So I think the beginning of this is the prevention piece. Everybody in the organizing events has worked from the beginning to make sure that there is hydration available inside the secure areas so people can be hydrated before they get there. They can maintain their hydration throughout it. If there's If there's nothing else, that's the most important takeaway. In terms of medical response plans, there's a multi-tiered response system in place for all of these events. We're doing it today with the Great American State Fair and the FIFA matches, but there's first aid tents inside the zone. There's multi-agency response teams. There's extra ambulances in service. There's the gators that can move around. There's bicycle teams. But that's not all. We're also doing the same thing out in the community because, quite frankly, 4th of July is our busiest day of the year. So we have an impact. We've added resources in addition to the regular fire and EMS resources that are available throughout the city. So I feel like we're in really good shape as far as a response. We just need everybody to do their part, take their time, drink a lot of water, and be safe out there.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Tom Fitzgerald from Channel 5. It's for Mr. Clark. Several of you have all mentioned Metro. It seems to be the key to this thing working. The heat issues that Paul just brought up can affect trains as well too. What are you expecting as far as capacity on Metro during these days, and what are you also doing as far as security on Metro as well?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Tom. So let's start with the security first. Intern Chief Boehm and his team are very much prepared. We actually, individuals in this room, we just did a big tabletop exercise on some very significant potential incidents. We are very well prepared. We do big events all the time. Our control center, we have over 30,000 cameras. We have special police officers that supplement. Our officers obviously appreciate the General, the National Guard. We have a lot of guardsmen that are in our stations as well. And of course, outside of DC, we have all of our other local partners. So from a security point of view, it's something we do every day. Last year was the lowest crime year in the history of Metro. So we know we are a very safe system, so we're focused on that. On a capacity point of view, we have a lot of capacity when we need it. Every one of our train sets will be set up and available. So we'll run normal high-level service, and then we'll have a lot of what we call gap trains ready to insert in from one of our yards or key locations like pocket tracks. We know how to move people after the 4th. The difference is this year is going to be spread differently, which again could be really beneficial for moving people that are normally used to queuing for a long time at a Smithsonian, but also could be challenging because we might be at a station down the line where a train is full. When it comes to kind of the heat and management, air conditioning is our priority every day. Trust me, we do not want tweets at us on a daily basis about hot trains and hot buses. We get very little of that. Our 7000 series trains specifically, mostly we get complaints that they're too cold. So we expect to be great partners with everyone up here, where a lot of people are going to be using Metro to stay cool. Could be some of our law enforcement partners at stations during the day, but we really expect to run really good, safe, cool service for people.
If I could, do you know what you're expecting as far as riders, a number?
No, we don't. Like a good example, last week was most days last week were our busiest days in 6 years since before the pandemic. Last Wednesday we on rail we did about 600,000, and Thursday I think it was 600,000, and Tuesday was like 595. So last year I think we did about 600 and something thousand for July 4th. We're prepared. The heat is obviously going to impact crowds, but it's also 250, which therefore you would think it's a big event. So we are going to run as much service as possible to meet the demands. It's a full emergency operations center activation for us, all hands on deck. I personally go out and help load trains after the event. So we will be prepared, but as the mayor said, we need people to bring their patients, listen to directions of our staff or law enforcement partners, and we'll safely get you in and get you out where you're going. Thanks.
Yes.
Hi, Rebecca with Channel 7. I have an on-topic for MPD and Secret Service, and then an off-topic for you. On-topic, if we could talk about, I realize when it comes to safety and security preps, there's only so much you can announce to the public, but can you talk about, are there different hard and soft security measures in place to help keep the event safe?
I'll turn to Secret Service.
I'm not really sure what you mean by hard and soft. I can tell you that the magnetometers that the Secret Service are running are in the locations that I previously discussed that can be accessed by Constitution and Independence Avenue via 14th Street from the east. We have several zones of security that are in place for this national special security event, but I think your question is more where do the hard zones, meaning the magnetometer screening, start, and that's at Constitution in between Independence on 14th Street.
So will it be uniformed and ununiformed officers?
You will see uniformed officers from the Secret Service, from several of our partners. We are properly resourced and have uniforms from several different jurisdictions helping us with this event. All right.
I'll jump in real quick. Obviously, the MPD Joint Operations Command Center and our Real-Time Crime Center will be activated for these events, so we'll have a view across the city, not only in the downtown area, but we'll also be able to monitor our cameras that we have across the neighborhoods as well if there's any sort of issues. So things like crowd flow, how the crowds are moving, crowd management overall. Additionally, this is a national special security event, so the difference between this July 4th and other July 4th is you'll see more concrete, more blocking vehicles, fencing, things that you don't see typically during a July 4th, or really we haven't seen in a July 4th since after 9/11, because this is a national special security event. When you go online to 250.dc.gov, you'll be able to see those vehicle restriction zones, the hard zones, and where pedestrians can move, so you'll have a better idea of how crowds will be able to move in that area.
Let me just see if there are any other questions on topic. Yep.
Derek Hawkins from Notice. You guys mentioned that Freedom 250, the organizers of the Salute to America, they have put out some of their own releases regarding security for the event. They've also, you mentioned the later start time that they've asked, which I know puts additional demands on all of your staffs and your agents. Is there a reason that Freedom 250 doesn't have a representative up here with you guys right now?
I'm not sure that we invited them to talk about security, but there's no other reason than that, I don't think.
One follow-up. They mentioned last week that there was going to be an ID check at the security perimeter, but I think they've withdrawn that. Can you comment on that
Secret Service?
There will be no ID check.
Anything else? Yes.
Hopefully somebody can speak more broadly about the heat emergency, the response to that coming up given the 100-degree air temps and, obviously the real field temperatures, that kind of
Sure. Could you just introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm Tracy John, PWC.
Thank you.
Clint.
So we have two levels of heat emergency in the city. One starts around 95, the next is at 105. We'll be somewhere in the middle. So we're going to be doing is a couple of things. The first is intensive messaging to the community. Everything you're doing, all that you've been doing on the media side for the last couple of days is really, really essential, because at the end of the day, preparing for heat is really an individual and family activity, and people can do a lot to protect themselves and their families. That could be everything from staying hydrated, like Chief Donnelly talked about, to checking on friends, neighbors, pets, and others to make sure that they're getting at least in the shade, if not in air conditioning. Beyond that, when we get to this point where we're getting really close to high temperatures, we send out an internal alert to our city agency partners that deal with people experiencing homelessness. We are in the process, as we look out for this week, looking at what we're going to do each of the days to make sure that we're doing additional homeless outreach, expanding our homeless services to people as well as places that people can go. And the other thing I would say is if you go to ready.dc.gov, you can see all of our facilities that serve as cooling centers. That's our rec centers, pools, libraries, and other locations. There are a ton of ways for people during the day and during the hottest part of the day to get into air conditioning in safe, secure spaces provided by DC Gov to cool off, to rest, to recuperate, to hydrate, and stay safe. And so that's what we'll be focused on for the next couple of days, and look out for messaging throughout the week. Raise your hand. The other thing I would flag is with the end of school, our pools are open, so you can go to DPR's website and you can find the pool the pool hours and days that they're open throughout the city. This is a great opportunity for our residents to get out and use our beautiful
top-tier ranked parks and pools, spray parks as well throughout the city.
Josh Meyer from USA Today. You've talked a lot about how this is a family event and so forth, and can you give us a sense of what's going to be happening before the 11 o'clock fireworks? I mean, if, you know, like beyond what's been stated publicly, who's going to be speaking, how long, and also, if it is a family event, what do you say to families about the fact that the fireworks won't start till 11 o'clock, and a lot of them probably have kids
so
with
now
them.
you're asking programming questions, and that would be appropriate for the program organizers. So we're not really prepared to talk about the program here. I can tell you on Capitol Hill and at the Palisades, there will be a lot of marching bands, neighborhood groups, the traditional barbecues after that. So we, DC government is not providing the programming, and we're not really prepared to talk about the programming today. So let me say that the late start, and I want to emphasize the late start for our teams. We've been focused on it because it does mean that when people have generally watched the fireworks, gotten on Metro, and they're home by 11 o'clock, they're going to be starting at 11 o'clock. And so the thing to remember, especially with this heat, is that's a long, long day. So people have to really watch the heat, watch what they're drinking, and get home as soon as the fireworks are over. I'm expecting, and again, I would refer to the 250 folks, that families with small children are going to decide that the children should watch on TV or watch at a neighborhood event. Or if they're really brave, I'm not one of them that would track like an 8-year-old. Well, maybe I am. I won't say. Maybe I am that brave. I am, actually. But just everybody just make the best plan for your family. The Anacostia display is totally new, and I'm asking people to pay attention. It sounds like Park Police will make their final closures then, because families who may be used to using all of the park for their family event, they should make plans for the parts of Anacostia Park that are going to be available. But again, that may put people closer to home when the fireworks conclude at 11. So there will be a different vantage point from there. But I'll get my team to make sure we're making fully available where the organizers have put the programming events for the day. Yes, Beatrice.
Beatrice Peterson, ABC News. This question is for Mayor Bowser or Brigadier General Leland Blanchard. Beatrice Peterson, ABC News. This question is for Mayor Bowser or Brigadier General Leland Blanchard. There are going to be visitors coming to Washington who have never seen National Guard presence on the street. Can you just describe to people what it would look like? Is it going to be kind of what it's been the last couple of weeks? Are there going to be traffic, officers doing traffic, or is it just going to be just kind of standard?
Well, Beatrice, I'll say this. I've lived here most of my life, and I've never seen it look like this on the mall. Okay, but I've also never been alive for the 250th anniversary. So it is different, and I think everybody should expect it to look different. There are a lot of Guard, and there are other law enforcement as well that are supporting the event, and there are a lot of our fire and EMS, DPW, MPD, Department of Health. Who else am I meant? A lot of our local personnel are supporting the federal officials on the mall, but are also deployed throughout the district. Yes.
And just one follow-up. What time is Memorial Bridge supposed to reopen? Do we have an estimate?
We don't. The Park Police, I'm not sure. Is it right after?
The Memorial Bridge, we don't have an exact time on that. It'll be once roadways are opened up for the crowd leaving and everything else opened back up, but we don't have an exact time.
And Clint reminded me of something else that is very different, and that's the number of aircraft that we're going to see.
So we are seeing a lot of flyovers. This weekend on the 4th, we will see a series of flyovers in the afternoon. Many of you have probably already seen the closure announcements for DCA that allow those military aircraft to fly over. So we just want to remind everyone that this is expected, if not part of our normal 4th of July festivities. And you can keep up with that. We've been sending out alerts, but we are seeing a lot of additional flyovers. We want to make sure everybody in the community knows to expect those on the 4th of July.
Thanks. Mark Seagraves, Channel 4. This is actually for Chief Donnelly. I wanted to go back to the evacuation plan. As Mayor Bowser said, we've never looked like this before. There's a lot of fencing up around the National Mall and a lot of, corralling of people. And I appreciate that if something goes sideways that they'll open those gates up. But it just looks like there's a lot more possible choke points than we've had, and fencing in places around the mall that used to be people in an emergency could pass through. So I'm just wondering what your concerns are should weather or something worse happen that would necessitate a mass evacuation down there, given these hard perimeters that we're not used to seeing.
So thanks, Mark. Thanks for the question. I think we have seen some of this before after 9/11. We had the whole mall closed before, so it's not unprecedented. We've worked in this situation before. But the security plan is closely, we all work together on that. Ultimately, it's the service. I don't know if they want to add anything when I'm done, but I think we've built in exits. We have those exits staffed. There is signboards that we can use to direct people in the event of an emergency what to do. So this is part of special events planning that we've been doing for a long time. We are well within all the parameters that we have and have used, and within the FEMA recommendations for open events and things like that. So I think we're in pretty good shape here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take a few more. Do you have an on topic? Yes, what is it?
Hi there, Ben Brasher, CityCast. My question is, you all have done a good job explaining to us how it's going to be different, but if you could explain to me why this is different, what factors led to this being declared a national security event. If you could kind of, doesn't take much imagination, explain like I'm dumb why you all decided to do this and what went into that. Thank you.
Why we decided to make it a national special security event. Let me turn to the Secret Service.
Sure, I can just say for coordination, different 4th of July with the, all the leaders that will be present with the event and all the cabinet members of Congress, things like that, out on the mall during the 4th of July, it was determined that it rose to a higher level of security. So at that point, it was decided to make it a national special security event.
It was the VIPs, maybe not the. It was the VIPs that decided, maybe not the amount of people showing up at the mall. Is that my understanding?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
The first off topic over here. Okay, but a few. Just a few.
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mayor. The president had some choice words for the presumptive next mayor, Janice Lewis-George. I was wondering what advice you have for the next mayor about working with the Trump administration, about dealing with any sort of verbal attacks.
Well, I think there's a general kind of rule of thumb with old mayors and new mayors. Old mayors, or almost old mayors, give advice when asked. Any other questions?
Has she asked for your advice?
Any other questions?
Hi, this is related. I'm Shamir Mohammed with Notice. This is related to the Freedom 250 events. Mayor Bowser, I was just wondering, has there been any feedback from Washingtonians or any residents of the DMV about any concerns about what some are seeing as a partisan tone to these events?
I mean, I will leave that to everyone to discuss. I think that there are a lot of different opinions about the celebrations. Some people remember very fondly the bicentennial celebrations, what happened. I was very young then, so I don't remember. I still am not as young as I used to be. But anyway, I don't remember the bicentennial well, but I have heard from a lot of people who remember that fondly. And I think what people will do is they will compare the experiences. We've been working with both groups who have been planning for the nation's 250th, and we hope that people find events that speak to them and that they can support and go out and celebrate the 250th. We especially want people, while they are in Washington, to support local restaurants, to see our neighborhoods. And the thing that I am hearing is that a lot of people who haven't been here before, they see the real DC, and so that's a good thing. Yes, go ahead.
Follow up, and kind of piggybacking off my colleague's question, the president did have some choice words too about the idea of who could be the next mayor, and he had previously made threats to home rule. So have there been any concerns or feedback shared by residents about that either?
About what? Which part?
The part about home rule or any conversation about the district.
Well, I think over the course of time, there are lots of conversations and concerns about the district's autonomy and our approach to preserving our autonomy. I am proud in my time as mayor. That's exactly what we have done. I have served with every iteration of president and congressional leadership, and have always put squarely our focus on our North Star, and that's making sure that the district controls its affairs. Yes.
Question for Chief Carroll.
Yep.
Chief Carroll, do you have an update on the status of the investigation by U.S. Secret Service outside the White House last month?
Sure, Paul. So the investigation continues. We have not got the ballistics back from that case. So once the investigation is done on the MPD side, it will be presented to the United States Attorney's Office for criminal review. If it's determined that there's a declination issue, then it will go back to the United States Secret Service for their administrative review and investigation.
Who's doing the ballistics?
I believe the Secret Service is doing the ballistics.
All right. Question for the Park Police, sir. There was a chase a week ago Saturday, which a man was killed. And we got a notice from your PIO that you were reviewing your pursuit policy. Can you tell us where that is?
So the U.S. Park Police, we always review and as needed make adjustments to all of our policies. Just by nature, any good law enforcement agency will do that as needed, as operations dictate and as other things dictate. So U.S. Park Police are, as well as our other general orders and policies, that is one of the ones that we are taking a look at.
Has anything changed?
At this time, no.
Mark.
Yeah, on behalf of all the senior citizens, the bicentennial was awesome.
Make the note that he said it, not us.
Yeah, the last time Chief Carroll made me feel old here the last time we gathered. Mayor Bowser, we now know the value of the personal seat license agreement with the commanders. Events DC has put a cap price tag of $975 million on the seat licensing agreement that you in the negotiation, along with the council, agreed to give to the commanders as part of the deal. So I have two parts to this. One, did you know that value of it when you negotiated it away, and what do you say to residents who are hearing this number as, almost $1 billion of what is a DC asset being given to the team?
Mark,
And
that
then-
was always part of the deal. That's not news.
Did you know the value of it at the time?
I don't think we knew the exact value until recently, but we knew the range of values, yes.
And so, it's nearly $1 billion that's going to offset, a third of their investment. That's a DC asset. What do you
No,
say to
it is going to go into the construction of the DC asset.
It offsets their $2.7 billion.
It was always anticipated as part of that investment.
And then what do you say to the people who want season tickets who are learning now? And I know we've known PSLs were coming, but this is going to be the first time any team in our market in this city will have a PSL. that could be averaging anywhere from $15,000 to tens of thousands of dollars, pricing a lot of people out of being able to have season tickets.
Well, there's going to be a full range of ticket and price options. I think we always knew that. And I think the contemporary and the modern building of stadiums, all of them, this is a common financing tool, and it was one that was always anticipated.
Do you think the council, as they go to approve this this $975 million cap, should do anything to adjust that or put any type of price controls? Or
the council also knew what the financing tools were when they approved it.
Mendelson said this morning he didn't know the 975. Did you know it was going to be valued that high?
I did, like I just said, like not even 2 minutes ago. I don't think anybody knew what the precise value was until recently. But if we look at the range and what we want to build there, it stands to reason. Yep. Any other questions? May I help you?
Hope so. Chief Carroll has passed the 6-month deadline for confirmation. Chairman Mendelson was asked about this morning at his briefing, that technically that's in violation of the law, that he still be paid as chief of police after 6 months of not going through the confirmation process. Just what is your plan? Is it to keep him in this interim status through the end of your term and not put him up, or stay
well,
in
Mark,
what appears?
I don't like. I'm not going to talk about like very specific personnel matters. I think I've made it very clear that we want to have the best of the best leading the Metropolitan Police Department. There will be a new mayor. New mayors make very critical, prefer to make very critical appointments. There may be some appointments where we have gaps that we will advance in the next 6 months. But if we don't have gaps, those will be deferred to the next administration. Thank you.